to have you on the show. Come here. Wow. I'm very excited to meet you, sir.
Oh, man, I'm excited about being here.
And let me ask you now, 50 Cent is your kind of chosen performing name.
Yes.
Is it not? 50 Cent. And I've heard people say Fiddy.
Yeah, they
Cent.
call me Fiddy.
What is that? That's just their way of shortening it?
Yeah, they just shorten it up. They do whatever they want.
50 Cent. Well, you seem very easygoing about that.
Absolutely, you know.
Because my name's Jonathan. I don't like it if people call me John.
John?
No, I don't like it.
John?
I don't like it.
John?
Stop it. I don't like John John.
John John?
You know? I don't know Wassy. You're very wise not to go there. Your real name, though, is it Curtis?
Curtis.
See, Curtis is Curtis Jackson. That's a hip name. That's a cool-sounding name.
Curtis is a nice... It's really Curtis.
Curtis. You think he's too nice for you?
Well, you know, I mean, with the music, the lyrical content would match.
Yeah, it's sort of hard-edged stuff.
Yeah.
Could you not record a nice album under the name of Curtis, then?
Yeah, I put out a nice one.
Could do have two separate careers?
We could, you know, we could do a group, Curtis and John.
That would be good.
That would do it.
I like the sound of that. And we could do old school stuff like Teddy Prendergast used to.
We can go, come on with me.
How about the whole town's laughing at us. Yes. We missed the bus. Don't you dare cuss. Should I call you 50 Cent or Mr. 50 Cent? What do you normally like? Or
you
50?
Call me 50 Cent, whatever you
there
want
you
to
go.
call me.
Look, this is some serious, is this real jewelry?
Yeah, this is new stuff.
And this must be very expensive, I imagine.
Yeah, you know, I don't get a chance to do anything. Like, I've been on the road so much since my album came out. I've been touring constantly, so well, actually, I was on the Rock the Mic tour with Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes.
That watch is incredible. So it's a diamond-encrusted watch.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you normally... When I was growing up, you only saw stuff like that in pirates' treasure chests. That's incredible. This is your second album, I believe, is that
yes,
right?
My first,
it's called
actually.
Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent. It's sold so far 8 million copies.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
That's great.
Wow, and you've just won loads more awards. This week you won some over in Monte Carlo, I believe.
Yeah, in the World Music Awards.
And you won some at the MOBO.
Yeah, I won 3 MOBO Awards. I'm excited. This year has definitely been my year.
Wow, what a movie your life would make. Tell us a bit, I mean, tell us as much as you care to about your life, but I mean, your background is quite exceptional, isn't it?
That's cool. My mother passed when I was like 8 years old. I went to live with my grandparents. And she had me when she was 15, so, you know, back then it wasn't as common as the young girls have children at 15, a little more now than they did then. So at that point, she started hustling to be able to provide for me at that point. And she got killed when I was like 8 years old.
So when you say hustling, she was involved with what? She was...
Yeah, selling drugs.
Selling drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, and she was killed as a result of that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were just 8, so you went to live with your grandmother?
Yeah, my grandmother.
What part of the United States are we talking about?
Queens, Jamaica, Queens.
So that's near New York. That's one of the suburbs of New York, which I imagine is a tough area, despite the fact that it's called Queens, which makes it sound kind of friendly. Yeah. And so you live with your grandmother then, but you got involved in selling drugs as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Like, my grandparents grew up in a time where their kids' shoes cost $10. You know, it's a big difference now. You know, the shoes cost like $100 for the new Jordans and stuff like that. So it wasn't that they wouldn't do things for me, but I was uncomfortable asking them to do it. So I asked the people that I felt had it to give. You know, the people that I seen that had the jewelry, the nice cars, and the things that they got from hustling.
Okay. And so how old were you when you got involved in selling drugs yourself?
Around 12.
12 years old, man.
Yeah.
That's really difficult for someone from my background to understand. Yeah. You know, it just seems like such an alien concept.
Even at 12, you know, you still have to live by your parents' rules.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, you can't just be out hustling. Like, I had to have my grandparents think I was enrolled in an after-school program.
Well, in a way, you were.
Yeah.
And then, when did you get jailed? When were you caught out with this stuff?
Well, when I got to high school, my first year, I got arrested at school.
And how old is that? Because I'm not sure. High school was about 17, 16?
Yeah, 16.
Okay. And you went to jail for how long?
The first time, it wasn't a long time. I just, you know, because it was a juvenile situation. And then the second time, I was going for 7 months.
Right. And is that when you gave up the drugs you decided to... Because I know you're very anti-drugs now, aren't you?
Yeah. My little boy, he's 7 years old. And when he was, you know, when his mother got pregnant with him, I decided to try and do some things differently.
Let me ask you about other aspects of life, because you've been shot. How many times have you been shot?
9 times.
9 times.
Yeah, it was only one situation, though. It was one...
Well, yeah, okay. But they kind of went for it, didn't they?
Yeah, they...
Because Alan Davis, I don't think he's ever been shot, so far. I know you guys are having a chat after the show.
Yeah, you keep talking.
9 times, okay. So you wear a bulletproof vest now most of the time, I believe.
Yeah, in the States, just because I've been shot myself, you know, and I've seen Tupac and Biggie Smalls situation where all their wounds were inflicted in areas that would have prevented their death if they had.
Yeah, because it's mainly the body shots here. Do you wear anything over the what we call the family jewels? In this
nah, you know what? I kind of got that covered.
Have you? There you go. You hit the pose.
Immediately, I hit the.
Wow. I hope Alan's taking notes out there. Where were you shot? Which part of the body? Where did the bullet
Oh, man, I got shot in my hand. My thumb came out of my hand, my face.
Shot in the face?
Yeah.
And where did that come out?
Like the two.
Wow, oh my goodness, there's a hole there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm surprised the bullet went through there, but it's alarming.
Yeah, it kind of changed my voice too, and this is the voice that sells 8 million records, so I think everything happens for a reason.
What a positive outlook to have. You get shot right in the face, and you say, well, you know what, hey, we have something in common.
Yeah.
I have a slight speech impediment, you won't have noticed
yeah,
it, it's barely recognizable.
You have a W.
Yeah, that's right. A what? Don't start now. But you know, mine came about, it's a different story, but it's similar. When I was at school, in infant school, there was a rope ladder that we used in PE. And it was tied up when we weren't using it, because that was the assembly hall, you know, the kind of thing. But it was not tied securely. No. And during one of the lessons, it came loose, hit me in the mouth. I know it doesn't sound like much compared to yours, but it hurt at the time.
Yeah. My hit was a little harder, that's why.
Well, you're saying that, how do you know? You know, I was very little then. You were quite big. Now, here's something I need to raise with you. Okay, and you know, please tell me how you feel about this. You mentioned Tupac's untimely death, and Biggie as well. He was shot before his time, and I know currently there are other rivalries going on in the rap world. I believe there's something going on between Suge Knight and Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah.
There seems to be, which is unfortunate. And there's something going on between you and Ja Rule, who's another rapper. I don't know how many people are familiar with him. I'm sure rap fans obviously are, but other people who aren't as into rap won't know. But he's a talented man as well. He seems to be doing very well for himself.
Not anymore.
Okay. Now, but here's the deal. Now, you guys have had any number of... you've had a few exchanges.
Yeah, but they were all very minor exchanges. Like,
so is that behind? That's gone now?
Yeah, it's just... You know, people... Like, without even sharing conversation or knowing each other, people can grow a dislike into each other. You know, and hip-hop is very competitive. So they feel like if you come in with something and it's aggressive enough to the point to move them out of the focus.
But that strikes me, I mean, I suppose you were talking about the environment from which a lot of the artists have come from, and that's, I guess, it. But it just strikes me as being, well, on one hand, you know, we never had this before. I don't remember the Eagles trying to take Cat Stevens out of the picture. Just for example, but, you know. Say you were cross with me, right? Heaven forfend. And it was entirely your fault, OK? Which it probably would be, let's face it.
I apologise.
No, but I would apologise to you.
Would.
I would say, you know what, because I would be worried and I wouldn't want that hanging over me. Isn't it time to just go, you know what, it's only music?
Yeah, I think the press is expanding that.
So it's not that big a deal?
No.
OK, so you want to say sorry to Ja Rule?
Nah.
You're stubborn.
I'm not going to say sorry.
If I was your dad... Yeah, that would be a surprise for both of us, wouldn't it? I'm probably old enough. You know, but, you know, we've had those sort of dreams. You know, it's like I've got my little boy, and when my kids argue sometimes, you can see they just get so entrenched, and you must have seen this with your little boy and his friends, and you can go, man, sort it out, you've got to stop fighting like this. And sometimes when I see, you know, mainly rap artists, I think, I so don't want to see anyone else getting hurt in that way.
Yeah, it's not even that serious. I think the press, because they've had prior situations that...
Looking to blow it up.
Yeah.
Are you performing over here? Are you going to be gigging while you're over here, or are you going to come back and do that?
Actually, I've been touring. This is my second time being in London.
Right.
I toured with Eminem over here on the anger management tour. Right. And I'm back out here by myself now.
I'm going to come and see you when you're next in town. I'd love to come and see you live. I saw Eminem last time. He was great on stage. It was such a big venue, though. He was so far away.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw a friend that far away, I wouldn't have waved at him. That's how far away he is. I'm going to come along, and I'm going to bring my own G unit with these fellas.
Can you guess?
What's that on the shirt?
That's Felicity, who's in there. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. I said she got up, she went to the bathroom.
You know what? She's a tremendous one. I'm afraid I have first call, if you don't mind. You know what, if you're making a movie, a kind of rap movie, she could play Little Kim.
Yeah.
Can I just move your necklace, because it's hooked on your microphone. And look at the size of that. Wow, pure zirconia. Where do you get that stuff from?
Hey, man, I pay a lot of money for these diamonds. You go call them zirconia.
What kind of ballpark figure are we talking here?
What? 250.
250 pounds.
250,000 American dollars.
$250,000.
Yeah. I got a watch that Em and Dre bought me when I turned in my album.
Wow.
As a gift, it cost about $700,000.
Well, I guess they know they're going to make that kind of money back.
Yeah, they made it back big time already.
There's serious money to be made in this business.
I want some more gifts after all this money I made.
Let me just ask you, when you go through an airport, here's something I want to ask you. With that amount of money, do you put it in the same little tray we put our stuff in, and then just it disappears?
Not the same tray, but I run
what if it didn't come out the other side? What do you?
And I'll be waiting for it.
You'll be reaching in there, imagine, aren't you? You pass it through with one hand and get it out with the other.
I'll make sure we get it.
A real pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on. And here's the good news. 50 is going to perform with G-Unit, I guess.
Yeah.
Going to perform a new single, P.I.M.P. at the end of the show. We look forward to it. Thank you so much for coming on. A pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming on.